Hello guys, it's Boston Reads Everything. Today we are going to be reading our science encyclopedia. Let's start with atoms. Big things are made of smaller things. For example, a log cabin is made of dozens of logs. A log is made of millions of tiny fibers of wood. A fiber of wood is made of even tinier fibers of a substance called lignin. And lignin is made from groups of very tiny things, indeed, atoms. Take apart any object from a skyscraper to a pinhead, and you eventually find out that it is made of these tiny particles called atoms, which are far too small for us to see. All objects, items, materials, substances, chemicals, and other forms of matter consist of atoms. Different kinds of atoms. Atoms are not all the same. There are about 112 different kinds. These kinds of atoms are known as the chemical elements, and they are known on the following pages. The names of some chemical elements are familiar, such as aluminum, iron, and calcium. The names of other chemical elements are less well known, such as xenon, yttrium, and zirconium. The atoms of the different chemical elements are all different from each other. So aluminum atoms are different from iron atoms. Both kinds are different from calcium atoms, and so on. But all the atoms of one chemical element are exactly the same as each other. A lump of pure iron contains billions of iron atoms. Each one is identical to all the others, and they are all identical to every other iron atom anywhere in the universe. Science discovery. Since ancient times, some scientific thinkers suspected that everything consisted of tiny particles. Democritus, about 400 BC, of ancient Greece, suggested the world and everything in it were made of particles which were so small that they were invisible to our eyes. He believed that these particles were unimaginably hard, lasted forever, and were always moving around. Parts of the modern theory of the atoms are similar to the ideas of Democritus.
Democritus, I think. Democritus. How do you?
Democritus.
Let's see. Democritus. Yeah, his name is Democritus. See? Let's zoom in. Democritus. All right, let's go.
Atoms join together. Sometimes atoms are on their own. At other times, they join together with other atoms to form groups of linked atoms called molecules. These are often shown as ball and stick diagrams or models. Even elephants are atoms. Every piece of scrap of substance or matter is made of atoms. That includes the ground beneath your feet, trees, cars, houses, computer, compact disc, water, and the invisible air all around us. All living things are atoms too, including birds, flowers, microscopic germs, huge trees, tigers, elephants, and your own body. Atoms across the universe. Everything in our world, including planet Earth itself, is made of atoms, and everything outside the world is made of atoms too. Space is not perfectly empty. It has bits and pieces of gases and dust floating around in it, and these are made of atoms. Objects in space, such as planets, stars, and comets, are made of atoms. So are our own satellites, rockets, and spacecrafts. Most of the matter or substance in the universe is inside stars like our sun. The main chemical element in stars is called hydrogen. So hydrogen is the commonest substance in the whole universe. For every 100 atoms in the universe, 93 are hydrogen atoms, and only 7 are of other elements. science discovery. John Dalton, 1766 to 1844, was a British science teacher who also kept records of the weather. He suggested that every chemical element consisted of tiny particle atoms which were identical to each other, but different from the atoms of other chemical elements. He also gave names and symbols to about 30 chemical elements. However, he thought that atoms were solid spheres like metal balls, which could never be destroyed. Also, some substances that Dalton believed were elements are now known to be combinations of elements or compounds. Here are all Dalton's element symbols.
Soda. Keep going.
How big are atoms? Very, very small. An average atom is 0.000, 000, 001 meter, 1/millionth of 1 millimeter. Across, blow up a balloon. It seems to contain nothing and weigh almost nothing, but it contains about 100 billion, one with uncountable zeros, atoms of the gases that make up air. A tiny grain of sand contains so many atoms that if each one were the size of a pine head, the grain would be about 1 mile across. Building blocks. A skyscraper is made of many buildings units fixed together, such as steel girders, beams, and panels. A house is made of smaller building units, such as bricks. Atoms are similar but far smaller. They are building blocks of matter. That's all for today, guys. Goodbye.